Family, Dewan family. Yes.
Namaste, Kuzango, Khamri. Today is 22nd of May. Uh, it happens to be the birthday of Palden Thondup Namgyal, who was the founder president of Namgyal Institute of Tibetology. Hence, today Namgyal Institute of Tibetology was we are having our Founders Day celebration, in which we had for the first time we're having a photo exhibition in connection with the deep friendship between Nari Rustomji, who was the Dewan of Sikkim, and Chogyal Palden Thondup Namgyal, the 12th Chogyal of Sikkim. So their relationship was so strong, which developed in 1942 when they were in Missouri doing their civil service training. And this relationship continued, and in 1954, Dewanji, Nari Rustomji was requested by the Chogyal to the government of India for appointing him as the Dewan of Sikkim, so that these people could get together and do a lot of work. So during that for 5 years, Dewanji was here along with the Chogyal. Chogyal was then the crown prince. He was not the Chogyal because Tashi Namgyal, the 11th Chogyal, was still on the throne, but more or less he was quite reclusive and he was not very active. So Chogyal Palden Namgyal did most of the decision works, and most of the development works were undertaken during his period. So there were some during in this there are a lot of photos which and letters of correspondences which were till today it had not seen the day of light, because they belong to the Rustomji archive, which is located in Mumbai. A lot of these documents which were slightly more government related were it's already in the Nehru Museum, and some of these which were very personal in the form of correspondences, in the form of personal letters, these were finally we somehow our senior research officer, Mrs. Tenzing C. Tashi, she happened to make contact with the Nadi Rustomji family daughters, and then we managed to get them, and we decided that this would be an appropriate forum on the Founders' Day to exhibit whatever these two great gentlemen had done for Sikkim, for posterity. For us, they gave what they had. They are today. They gave for our tomorrow. So this was our way of being grateful, being thankful to the two gentlemen, and this was a celebration for their friendship. Thank you so much.
Um, I think my father's my father's first experience and exposure to Sikkim was in 1943, when he first visited this little Himalayan kingdom at the time, together with the Chogyal, who was Maharaj Kumar. They were at the Dehradun, at the Missouri ICS training camp, and they were friends. They established a friendship instantly. They were drawn to each other, and I think that he just felt an empathy and a connection with this beautiful land and its people, and that kind of lasted for the rest of his life. Sikkim was always very, very dear to him. And we used to come as little children on holidays every year during the Durga Puja holidays from Shillong, because Dad was chief secretary at the time. And our interactions with the Chogyal, on a very personal tone and note, were quite unique. He was always very kind, engaged with us as children, organized little treasure hunts for us. Rashni, do you want to talk about the tent?
He was very kind to us as children. We had many holidays here in Sikkim. There was one evening when I said I wanted to stay in a tent. And within an hour's time, there was a tent put up on the grounds of the palace, and Shanaz and I had beds in the tent. There was a lot of thunderstorm in the middle of the night. We were very frightened, but his gentleness showed up, because within minutes he had come down to make sure that we were safe and secure. We have very special memories of our childhood in Sikkim, and this is a very emotional journey for us. I have come back after 50 years, and this is a very special and precious memory that we shall treasure all our lives. Thank you for Sikkim for doing this in memory of the late Chogyal and our father.
I think he went together with the Maharaj Kumar at the time on horseback, on mules, by foot, right deep into the countryside. They had this vision for Sikkim to have healthcare across the country, to have education across the country. They interacted in a very humble way. There was no pomp and pageantry. Um, they mingled with the people, had their had the local food, danced with them, and tried to preserve, I think, and appreciate, acknowledge all the cultures that were prevalent in the region. So I think they went right from Lachung, Lachen to Pemyangsi, and right through the length and breadth of the country in very different circumstances to what we have today. There were no Paka roads. There were dirt tracks and kacha roads, but that didn't deter them from their vision of trying to develop the country as much as they could, with real dedication and love.
I think you do still share friendship with many of the princes who are still prince and princesses who are still alive currently, and how have been your account with them over the past 50 years since Sikkim turned into a democratic state also. In due course of these 50 years, what kind of friendship do you share with the royal children, so to say?
Well, it's been a long time. I've returned to Sikkim after 40 years. The last time I was here, I was with my father and Chogyal Wongchuk at the palace. That was a short visit. My sister was here last 50 years ago. And although we haven't met, Hopelism and Princess Hopelism and Prince Palden um, or Chogyal Wongchuk in recent years, I've exchanged some messages and WhatsApps and photographs and some letters with Princess Hopelism, and we're hoping that we will meet someday soon. We've met Gawa La and Kukula's daughters and Tina, of course, and it's like the family ties were so close, and I think and hope that they will continue for future generations as well.
Came here first in 1965 as a 5-year-old, and we were guests of the Chogyal Sahib. And we were put up at Elephant Mansion, which is close to the institute. And my memories of Gangtok are very, very well, what a 5-year-old could retain is the palace. We went for lunch, and I still remember the Chogyal's wife, Hope Cook, had put up a very nice banquet on the lawns, and we were swinging on the swing, and I still remember knocking over all the food because I was sitting on the swing. But Chogyal Sahib really looked after us very well. I mean, even as a child, we were taken to Rumtek, Nathula Pass in those days. We suffered from altitude sickness also. And those are the memories I have. Gangtok was very basic from the little I remember. I remember Rangpo also. So those are the memories I have of Gangtok at that time. After that, it's 60 years since I've come.